So without further ado, allow me to introduce the gorgeous Mozella Perry-Ademolui and the fabulous Gina Vincent. So, Mozella, you were just about to join us. Yay, there you are, beautiful. Hello, my lovely. Now, I need to unmute you.
Yes.
Yay.
That would help.
Oh, you beautiful.
Great to be here. I did hear you. I just didn't know how to tell you that I could hear you.
Good. All right, good. Because I haven't used this technology for having a guest on before, so that is really cool. And I know Gina's here. Now, I'm not seeing Gina, so she might have some adjustments to do to her video. Gina, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to bring you out, and then we'll figure out how to... there's your gorgeous face. Okay, here comes Gina to join us now. Yay!
Hi, Gina.
Hello. What a fabulous trio we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Again.
So, I'm just going to share the reason that I chose these two fabulous women to be my special guests today. The reason is because with both of them, we have worked on multiple branding projects together as their businesses have grown and evolved over a number of years. Each of them has become a very special friend of mine who I have had the pleasure of meeting up with for fabulous adventures in London. And the coolest part is the three of us actually met years ago on a retreat in Marrakesh. And what a cool way to have a reunion. Beautiful women, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you. In Morocco, in case anybody doesn't know where Marrakesh is, just in case.
Yeah. So it was sublime, wasn't it? And this wonderful, exotic opportunity to get to know each other and meet and sample the delights of Marrakesh. And oh gosh, that was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, so Marrakesh came and we had an amazing time there. And then individually, although correct me if I'm wrong, you guys were roommates in Marrakesh.
Were.
Thankfully, yes.
Fabulous is that one of my other best friends, who many of the people watching will know, Sherry, she and I first met as roommates as well at a conference in California years ago. So roommates are the best.
Absolutely. I got lucky.
Yeah. And yes, as for our adventures in London, I will say they have involved tea for us, Mozella. We've had afternoon tea, really cool places, haven't we? I think
and the bubbly.
Oh, yeah, yes. And bubbly, yes. Bubbly all round, absolutely. Right. In fact, Mozella did say, oh, should we have champagne? And I went, oh, that's a great idea. I thought, nah, we better not. Let's stick to tea. It's 10 o'clock in the morning for you, Gina. That would be
exactly
an interesting start to the day, wouldn't it, my lovely? Anyway, so Gina, I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of backstory on you first. So we started working together in 2017 when we created your first brand, which was Blissed Outfit and Feisty. And before that, you had a health and wellness business that kind of felt several sizes too small for you. That's right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And you wanted to tell us about, like, you wanted to do more in the world and make more of an impact.
Yes, it was time. Things that had happened brought me to the place where I was ready. My kids were old enough where they didn't need me as much. And I knew that I needed to fulfill my calling, and what I had already set up wasn't going to do that.
Too small for you.
Right. Not that it was broken, but it needed room for me to be able to do other things. And and that's why we got together. I mean, that's why I sought you out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then over this past year, your business went like it went under a major evolution. And that was, you had just moved to California, and now we've just finished rebranding you as Exquisitely Aligned. I love the sound of that, exquisitely aligned, because that is you. And one of the things I love is that we were able to incorporate some of the elements of your previous brand into the new brand, so that your tribe can see it for what it is. It's an evolutionary up-leveling, rather than like a 180-degree kind of giving them whiplash. So you have that continuity for your people.
Yeah, and I think that working with you, Kerrianne and Mosella, you probably agree that when you're able to see us for who we are, and there's no need to redo everything so drastically, because you already have the right colors, you know, tweaking them a little bit like we did to go a little darker, you know, and changing the font slightly was I think a no-brainer, because it just helped get the message across more clearly and give me the room that I needed for this brand, under the Blissed Out umbrella. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And so Mosella, slightly different story with you. So right out of the gate, we created 2 separate brands for you. And so one was for your corporate speaking and your professional development training, which is Mountain Peak Strategies. And one was for your women's personal development retreats that you'd already been running for some time, and that's Love is a Mountain. And so our challenge was not only to create those 2 brands, which were for very different audiences, very different messages, but getting that clear message across in a way that didn't make the 2 brands look like they were from separate planets. That there was commonality, and they were actually a perfect fit for each other. They were just different kind of sides of the same coin in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. Because ultimately, often I found that she was the same client. Yeah. And she would come to a retreat, enjoy that, and then would also bring me into her law firm as a real live example. So, you know, Kerrianne, I often think about the work that you do. It's like, just as my own little metaphor, is like a well-dressed outfit. You know, you want from head to toe, wherever you go in that space, you want to know that it's, you know, it all belongs and it's coordinated and it's well thought out. And that has brought a tremendous value to the work that I have done and continue to do.
Oh, thank you, Margaret. Well, I tell you what,
he is the magician, really.
That's 2 more beautifully dressed, stunning women I could not hope to have as my guests here. You both look so amazing. But then we had another evolution with your business, Mosella, and over the last year, you actually came up with a concept that brought those 2 brands like into kind of closer alignment, and so we revamped your brand to reflect that. Plus, we added in some new elements in a way that fitted with everything that you already had in place.
Right. It's room to grow, which is so important. Yeah. And I just love that, whatever it is. Because if you remember, I kind of thought, well, you know, put it this way. I made a mistake. I thought that this new program that I'm going to launch in January, and I thought I would, I don't know, anyway, Kerrianne said, no. This has to fit in the closet with everything else. So I was very quickly corrected, and it just made, oh my gosh, a tremendous difference.
Capsule wardrobe, darling.
Big touch.
Yeah. Oh, so let's talk about some of the fun that we've had working together, because I know that actually people are curious to know what it's like to work with me, and you guys know that I do have I have a structured process, and we have defined outcomes that we have to hit, but it's also a very organic experience in so many ways.
Yes.
Do you want to speak to that?
Sure. Well, I mean, I hate to start with it's fun and exciting, but it is. It's like meeting a new person and connecting. And what I liked maybe the most is that I feel, Kerrianne, that you quickly are able to connect and see each of your clients for their uniqueness. And I think that's very important across the board. I mean, like you said, we're all friends, but we're each different. And I think if you displayed each of our 3 brands, you can see how well they represent each of us individually. It's not a cookie cutter process. It's not a cookie cutter palette. And for me, that is so important. I think that when you're shopping for somebody to take your brand to the next level, or maybe to start your brand wherever you're at, or to me, like me, evolve your brand, keep evolving, that you want to make sure that the person you hire is not going to say, oh, well, this is the template I used for Mozilla and it worked for Mozilla, so you need to have this. And it's like going to a hairdresser and getting the right haircut for your face, the texture of your hair, your personality. And for me, branding is definitely your personality. And I mean, that to me, Kerrianne, the ability for you to do that in such a short period of time over a camera, right? You and I, at that point, I was on the East Coast, now working from the West Coast of the US, and you're overseas. It's amazing. I mean, that was, yes, you and I had met before, but our time together was not about who are you and what's your business like. So to be able to do that so quickly, for me, that's a vital piece. I think that anybody who I would recommend who's looking to do this is to make sure you find the person who's the perfect match, who can get that point across in as well. I'm from New York originally, so in a New York minute, you know, like you don't want to be right. You don't want to be struggling 6 months into a project going, I don't think she understands my brand, or I don't think she understands my client. I don't think she understands my goals. And, you know, so it was fun and exciting, along with being able to like hang up and say, okay, she gets me. You know, and I think that was probably for me the most key important piece of it.
I love that perspective, Gina, and it goes to this thing that's at the core of a great brand, I think, is calling in your dream clients. You've got to work with people that you love.
Right.
And yes, it doesn't matter that we met in Marrakesh to begin with. We might not have, but we like each other. We enjoy working with each other. We had fun, and we had the same, you know, we're all very different. If you lined up our brands, you wouldn't think there was any relationship between us, because as you say, Gina, I love that, they're a reflection of us, but energetically, we're people that get out and we get shit done. And we like that about each other too, and really riff off each other, which is very special and fun. Okay. And so, Mozilla, I know that one of the big milestones in your business was speaking at the International Women's Leadership and Empowerment Conference, that very first time when we started working together.
Right.
And since which you've spoken there every year, and you've been one of the main keynote speakers. You host 4 or 5 retreats a year. You're a trainer for the Training Officers Consortium in Washington, D.C. And obviously, there's no way that your brand can take any credit for those amazing achievements of yours. But in the early days, how did your brand, having it in place, support your confidence in making things like that happen?
Well, I mean, it does make me more confident, because everything that I reach for, everything that I show is coordinated. But one of the ways I also want to answer this in terms of confidence is when you're building your business, when you're thinking about the marketing and what do I say about myself, it's like a huge mountain. and I know about mountains. And the key is it can be so overwhelming. But the way in which you operate, because I listen to you talking about the first week and this is what I'll present, it's like steps. The way to climb a mountain is one step at a time. And I think that it was so coordinated. It was so, in these bite-sized pieces. And the more pieces I took and steps that I took, the more confident I became in the end product. I knew without even seeing it that it was going to be fantastic because you ask the right questions. Well, first of all, you just listen so well. And then you ask the right questions so that we can come up. Sometimes, in that spur of the moment, when we were talking in the, what did you call it? The brainstorming, it's the ideas that perhaps are unsaid, but just by interacting with you, you'll have this aha, oh my gosh, that's right. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And then the show and tell is like reaching the peak. Every time she writes me and said, this is going to be a show and tell. Are you ready? I'm just biting at the bits because
it's my favorite part of my business, I gotta say.
It's beautiful. It's been such a joy. And and once you start, as you grow, you realize that you have to continue to go back because the process works. Why would you go anywhere else?
Right.
Yeah. And so, Gina, just to kind of ask you the same question, but in a slightly different way, because I know when you started out a few years ago, you had a mailing list of a couple hundred people. And over that time, I know you actually, you built it up to about 19,000. You've since culled it down to 10,000 of like the right people. And you did this by promoting yourself online. You've hosted your own challenges. You've created amazing video training series. How do you feel that your brand supported you in showing up and shining so brilliantly online?
Well, using Mozilla, you were saying about having the right outfit, being dressed properly. I think that coming from my original background, what I went to school for and where I spent the beginning part of my career was as a department store buyer. And brand is everything. It's your, for me, it's like your red lipstick, it's your haircut, it's your eyeglasses or your jewelry, whatever it is you're kind of, you're known for. What people, oh, that's got to be Gina. I see her coming. And for me, that is that same, like you were saying, when you have a great outfit on, it brings about such great confidence. I think it also gives a clear message to whoever you're walking in front of, or whether you're presenting on a video camera or Mozilla, speaking to the crowds that you get to speak to, and hopefully me one day, but being live. And I think that without that, for me, I feel naked, and I'm not very confident naked. So it's, I think
I'm not sure any of us are, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe I'm not, but I think being able to stand clearly and let people know who you are within just a few seconds of saying the name or them seeing the colors or the logo, that you quickly get a feeling of I'm a connector. So you quickly connect with, yes, this is where I feel comfortable, or you know what, this isn't really where I'm going to spend my time. And I think that being on video, there are how many people on Facebook? I don't even know. I was going to say millions. I'm sure that's wrong.
Billions.
2 billion. Jim posted it the other day. But at any rate, you're one of many, and you want to find your tribe or the people I feel like I'm called to help more quickly. And when you have that concise brand, it really funnels out who you don't want. And earlier I think it was you, Kerrianne, who said, you want to work with the right people, because I have called the wrong people to me, and it was exhausting. I mean, it was, you know, my husband's like, oh, so how did that go? And oh gosh, you know, like, and nothing wrong with the person. It's just
It's
what
just a
she
fit,
needed.
isn't it? Yeah.
No, it was a wrong fit. I could have helped her, but I would have lost my person at myself within that. And that's not fulfilling to me. And that's not who I'm here to help. And I think when you have the right brand with the right colors, the right messaging, the right logo, you just, it adds to that outfit, that closet you were talking about. And Mozella, you hit on being able to pull out every time you're starting a new project. Okay, well, I know what my guidelines are for whatever you're running, and that it makes, like you was talking about mountains. I haven't climbed them like you, Mozella, but you know, that makes like it go faster. You know, like if I was climbing a mountain, all of a sudden it's speedy. You're on the right path. It's clear of where's the peak. That's instead of you're pulling from here and now this, and nothing matches, nothing jives. So this gal who was excited all of a sudden sees this new project that you're running or offer or whatever it might be, challenge. And she's like, oh, that doesn't attract me. And then you're wondering, why are my numbers dropping, or why am I attracting the wrong people? It's so fabulous to be able to have that confidence and the short, quick turnaround to be able to put out the next best, whatever it is you're offering.
And it starts with the clarity.
Yes.
We need to be led to the clarity, because once we're clear and once we can show how clear we are, then everybody else can see your vision as well.
Yeah.
And self-select.
That is so true. So true. My beautiful, beautiful women, thank you so much for jumping on with me today. I've got a couple more questions to answer before I wrap up my cup of tea. It's been such a delight and so fun to have you on with me today. And it's just, oh, mwah. I love and adore you both. And I will speak with both of you probably in the coming week. Thank you so much, my lovelies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Bye, Gina. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was, honestly, that's with such a smile on my face. These beautiful, beautiful women that I'm so privileged to have in my world, not only as my clients, but also as my friends. It doesn't get better than that.